I'm doing this on a Saturday of June the 22nd, and still getting prepared for the beginning of the summer term, which is July the 8th, which will go to sometime in September, which we'll get to in a moment. I'd like to welcome you if you are new, or welcome back if you have been somewhere else, new or nearly new, to the Heavy Equipment Colleges of America Associate of Science of Occupational Science in Heavy Equipment Operation. This is an associate degree. These are college level courses that we have here. If you came from the industry and have a background in heavy equipment, that'll come in handy. If you came from one of our certificate programs in heavy equipment, that will be also handy. But understand, if you did come from industry or one of our certificate programs at either the California campus or the Georgia campus or the Oklahoma City campus, this is a significant step up. The expectations I have of you will be way more than you were required to meet in the certificate program. The first assumption I will make is that you are a grown up and know how grown ups behave. The next assumption is that you can manage your time. And the third one, which is very important, if you have trouble managing your time, let me know as soon as you can. So again, welcome. I'm pretty easy to get along with. Some of you have been through, we've gotten to know each other over the past 2 years. So right now, I want to take you through the syllabus because it's required to do that. So let me go to the syllabus. Let me click it. Hopefully, I got the right syllabus. It looks like I do. I see me, my name. That's good. Uh, the course is GR 101, Introduction to Grading, the summer term of 2024. And here's the beginning date, July the 8th, and the ending date is September 15th, all of 2024. We don't have a time of day when we meet. You guys all have full-time jobs. I totally understand that. It is a challenge with family, employment, and school. I understand that also. But keep this in mind again. I can't help you if I don't know you need help. If you get behind, that's on you. Uh, Let me know if you've got things that are getting in the way. We'll work something out, but let me know ahead of time. So the first thing we need to look at in the syllabus, as I've kind of let it slide down, we just talked about, my prerequisite is the ability to manage time and ask for help when needed. The vocabulary in this course may be a little bit more than it was in the certificate programs, or maybe where you came from in your construction experience. If you don't know what a word means, look it up. It's real easy. Type it into Google and it'll tell you. Don't assume it. Know what it means. It'll make a difference. So here are some outcomes. I don't know if I'll hit these again or not, but identify, this is course outcomes, as you can see. Identify and demonstrate proper use of grade setting instruments. The main instrument we will be talking about actually is going to be a hand level, believe it or not. So that is the very, very basis of the grade setting instruments. And by the way, a lot of site superintendents have one of those strapped to their belt at all times. And guess what they're checking? The GPS to make sure it's not garbage in, because in a computer, garbage in means garbage out. You're going to be asked to describe the steps in building a slope. You're going to be asked to know how to calculate uh, grade, determine grade, maybe is a better word, how to calculate a slope ratio, the percent grade of, let's say, a gravity flow sewer line. And look at a stake, a reference stake in particular. This is more advanced stuff here. It's called an information stake. And on, let's use a highway as example. There's a stake on one side that tells you how to get to the center line of the highway. And there's a stake on the other side that tells you how to get to the center line of the highway. And those are cross sections. You may have heard of that. But we will be, our goal is to learn how to uh, prepare and or determine the information from a single line and a double line reference stake. That's in your future here with us. I have down the excavation and grading handbook as a uh, textbook. Uh, we use that in excavation 101, but we really don't use a textbook that much. If we have ordered you one, it is a neat book to have. So if you do have it, it'll be used. I'll bet you will have it because I'm going to use it in hydraulics, and you guys, some of you may be enrolled in the hydraulics course. I don't know. So we'll get it, and if you need it, we'll make sure you get it. But honestly, to get through this early grades course, you probably won't really need it. So look at the next thing up here is the what I call weight. It's how much emphasis how important the quizzes are. That 15% uh, of the grade is attributed to quizzes. The tailgate, as you can see, is a bit more important to me. And essay assignments are a bit more important to me. Essay assignments are time consuming, difficult on the student's part, and because I'm asking you to tell me what you know, not make a guess. I'm asking you to tell me what you know. And they're troublesome for the instructor because it's time consuming to grade them. Uh, Midterm exam, 15%, and the final exam, 20%. Here's our grade percentage equivalent. Anywhere from 90% to 100% is an A, and so forth and so on. 0 to 59 is failing. Technology requirement. There's some real important things here. You either need a desktop or a laptop or a tablet, and you need to have a steady stream feed or whatever of high-speed internet. A cell phone for this course will not work, and many have tried, but within a week they're having to go pick up a laptop, desktop, or tablet. Chrome is the search engine of choice, and mainly because to for remote proctoring, we use an application called Proctorio, and Proctorio only works with Chrome. So if you want to switch every time to Chrome when it comes time to take a quiz or a test, you may do so and use whatever you want in the meantime. But when it is to get into that test, if you're not using Chrome for an internet, you won't be allowed in, period. We'd like for you to submit anything that's not submitted through the text box. Uh, the text box is usually available when I'm asking you to submit, especially essay questions. You can write them. However, if that doesn't work, .doc or .docx is the other way to upload your homework. Sometimes there might be a case where you need to take a picture of your homework because it's a lot of calculations. You do it on a sheet of paper, take a picture of it, save it to your computer, upload and submit it. Deal done. Uh, Help in Canvas is 24/7. I have actually used Canvas at this number right here, and they will actually help. But who they'll ask for is our Instructure. That's the company that does Canvas administrator, and that's not me. But if you run into a little problem, you can't open something, or maybe the due date got past you, let me know. I can fix those kinds of things. So check with me. If I can't help you, we'll go to someone that can. If this is your first time on Canvas, I'd like for you to go through the Canvas student orientation. I believe I have it in the module, and you may be asked to do so if you get an opportunity to do that. Most of the Canvas is relatively intuitive for those of you that have any kind of IT savvy. For old people like me, it was a challenge, but I think I pretty well have got it. We've been doing this for about 4 or 5 years now on Canvas. I should have a little bit of tech fluency. The course policies, attendance is a big deal, and the way we do attendance is it's based on a week. Like if you participate, right here it says not logging in is not going to be enough. I don't care if you log in 10 times a day. That doesn't mean you get credited for that week. So to get credit for being not absent in a week, you need to participate in a class, otherwise engaged in an academically related activity, such as contributing to an online discussion. This is my preference for you, is because one, I want you to participate in the discussion, and two, it's a real good way for me to know that you did something that week. See, I'm asking you to do something, and this is evidence of you doing something, good evidence. Now, if the only thing you had time for is maybe a week 1, 2, 3, 4 assignment, then that will count. But right here's what I'm looking for: attendance in the tailgate. Speaking of which, we'll get into a little bit later. I'm not going through this, and the reason why is you can talk about our mission, our objectives, and things like that. But listen, the bottom line is to give you some added value as a prospected employee. I'm assuming that any one of you that is enrolled in this associate degree program have aspiration of being a leader or moving up the ladder in the construction industry. And our courses are designed to give you the information, and in some cases, information that you will have but may not use, but you will know about these things. Like, for instance, soil classification is required that that an engineer classify the soil on a site for foundation purposes. Anything to do with the VA, you'll have to go through Mr. Woodrum, Daryl Woodrum. I think he can handle that, and you may or may not have his contact information. If you need to speak with him and can't get in touch with him, get in touch with me. Uh, we like to say, if you've been through a participant course, you will not be on heavy equipment except during in-person training, which is something to consider. I don't have dates of that, but before you graduate, you will need 30 hours of hands-on training, and that's done at the campus of your enrollment sometime after the midterm exam in the later weeks of the course. Uh, let's see, discussion activities, assignments, grade assignments, in Cinebacteria. Be respectful, and if I don't need comedians in discussions, I need people that are interested in contributing, which, by the way, is very, very important. your contributions to those discussions carry a lot of weight. If you're just fooling around, I'll know it and I'll grade you accordingly. Because I really don't need people that are not interested in making good hands. I need to put people in companies that turn out to be uh, useful to that company. That way, companies will start coming to us for their employees. So, if you're not serious about this, find something else to do. And I seriously mean that uh, because it's not going to be easy, and I'm going to expect a lot of you. Some testing stuff that we need to talk about. Makeup tests will not be accepted. Well, you see a little asterisk right there. So if you have work-related or family-related issues that will interfere with the testing date, let me know in advance so I can request an exception if it's warranted. Don't give me issues every week because we may have to do something short of changing family. Uh, we'll figure out something to help you get and stay on track. Keeping up is essential. Makeup work. Well, we don't accept that, it says, but you see two little asterisks for that. And then you see this little comment of mine. Time management and self-advocacy are crucial in an online learning environment. And you see three exclamation marks there. That means that's important, by the way. So if you manage your time and you ask for help when you need it, you should be able to negotiate, navigate, or get through this thing without too much trouble. I say it's challenging, but it's doable if you stay up and if you ask for help when needed. C, here we go. Weekly assignments are due Sunday, no later than 11:59. Any work submitted the following Monday after 5 p.m. will receive a 10% per day reduction in points. Now, there are times, and I can see when it's happening, that a student is watching his average and he's doing what he needs to do to stay above that average. I'm going to have a visit with that student and I'm going to talk about the word effort, and I'm going to talk about the phrase of underachieving. I'm going to have a serious conversation about that. I know effort when I see it. I also know underachieving when I see that. Effort is so important. Behavior, behave. I'll behave. Uh, you behave. Okay. I mean, that's there's no profanity in discussions. If you can't talk without saying four-letter words, you're going to be limited to your highest level of achievements, I can promise you, because it's cool right now. All of us are what I refer to as what is that word I use? Insecure rednecks. So we need those kind of neat words that really emphasize things to make sure people are hearing us. People people listen, so we don't need profanity to get our attention. Uh, Resources, accessibility, read about that. If you have some issues that we can help with, we want to do that. Equal access, everybody gets a chance and a fair chance. This is Family Educational Rights and Privacy Acts. Read and understand that if you have questions. This is a link to the catalog. It talks about all the things I've been talking about. And then it talks about some stuff that the veterans may need to know. But trust me, I am a veteran. I went through college on the VA, and I'm actually thankful that they afforded me this opportunity. I did not waste it. I didn't waste their money. I got my education. Uh, so any questions concerning the VA, talk to Mr. Woodrum. You should, you will encounter him before you even encounter this video. Okay, so I got to move on. Don't go to these to get your assignments. Go to the module every week. The module, I'm sorry, we have week 1 through week 10, and that's where you know what you need to be doing. If you're in week 1, you need to be doing the week 1 module. Don't use the calendar that's provided in here. I don't think I left it up here. Just go to the module or ask me, where are we? So let's see. That takes care of the syllabus. Uh, Let me talk about, let's see where I might have this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this in particular. Okay, let's see what grades is. I wanted to spell this out. Okay, this is GR 101, Introduction to Grades. What is grade as it pertains to construction? Well, grade is the existing or proposed lay of the land. It's the way things are now, which is called existing, and will be, which is called proposed. We will be dealing with both existing grade and proposed grade. Oh yeah, what it is now and what it needs to be. Grading in construction is an integral part in the process of site preparation. And site preparation refers to the act of ensuring like a level base for a house to be construction or establishing a specific slope for drainage. Now, site prep includes a whole lot more than that. You have to clear and grub, right? You get your sewers in first in a subdivision. So there's a lot to do with site prep, but when it comes down to preparing the surface for structures, that's what we do. So it says, however, before any grading can be done using instruments such as engineers' levels, laser levels, and other instruments, including GPS, control points need to be established and stakes set and marked to ensure the grade accommodates or is prepared for the structure to be built on it. Might be a highway, might be a parking lot, might be a high rise, might be a McDonald's, etc., etc. This course is about establishing those points, setting and marking the stakes. How to do that. We will be focused on the principles of grade work using old school methods, and I'm talking about a hand level. These principles, however, provide a solid foundation for the application of automated grade control systems. So not only are you learning how to set grade using a hand level, you're being prepared for when it comes times to start using a rover and a base station in an automated grade control situation using GPS. So you have to know this to do that. So that's good news. I have another little sheet down here that I want to kind of talk. Well, some of the when I start talking about these, some of these my emotions come out a little bit. I don't grade you on emotion, but when I tend to emphasize things. The tailgate is a discussion between you and your cohorts. It has specific requirements which can be found on the home page of the course, which is the first page. There's a link that says tailgate. If you go there, it will tell you all the requirements of the tailgate. The main thing that you need to consider is, for the most part, my tailgate rubric is set for 3 posts: an initial post, a first response to another student, and a second response to another student. Now, sometimes I may use the tailgate for subject matter information, how much you know about the subject matter. So I may ask you 3 specific questions that I want you to respond to also. Now, know this, my rubric, which I think can be found in the course stuff in the modules, is graded like your initial post is worth up to 35%. Your first re- response to another student is worth up to 35%. And your second response to another student, or just your second response, which would be your third post, is worth up to 30%. Notice the prefix up to. I think that's some kind. It can be less than that based on what you are looking at right now, criteria for the tailgate. Now, what do I say about this? The benefits of an asynchronous, which is our kind of discussion, that's not like Zoom, include more learning for students, the opportunity to collaborate and make connections between students, and an overall improvement in learning, hopefully. It is assumed that you have read the tailgate instructions located under instructional resources in each module, I think, but for sure the link on the home page will take you to it. So each of your replies must include, and you have three, you'll always have three responses unless I change something. If I change it, I'll change it in the instructions also. Relevance. If you don't know what that means, look it up. I'm saying to post thorough answers to the discussion prompts, and I will give you prompts to respond to. That demonstrates your post. It demonstrates understanding of the material or subject matter. I want your post to be relevant to what your question or prompt is, or the actual topic of the discussion. Now, also, what do I mean by contribution to the learning community? That what you have to say is meaningful. I agree is not a meaningful post unless you tell us why you agree with another student. So I agree is not acceptable unless it's followed by the reason you do agree with the person. Do you attempt to motivate the group discussion? And do you present creative approaches to the topic? Are you just not following? Are we just not a bunch of lemming trying to do what the guy in front of us did? Be creative and be interesting. The quality of your post. Are your comments appropriate? Are they reflective? Does your comment look like you gave it some thought? Let me tell you something. Do not start writing until you know what you're going to say. Let me say that one more time. Do not start writing until you know what you're going to say. Otherwise, you're rambling. And I can see that from a mile away. Also, be respectful of others, especially when you're commenting on what they say. Be respectable. Be respectful, but you don't have to agree. And you can say, I don't agree. When you say, I don't agree, tell us why, so we can all that's a contribution when you do that. That helps us learn a little bit more. Now, the, the, the aspect or the part of it that says mechanics. Check your grammar. Try not to use contractions just as a habit. Now, I will because I'm in more of a hurry. And I might say don't instead of do not. I prefer that you say do not. I prefer that you say cannot instead of can. Will not instead of won't. Okay. Look for spelling. Now, I think these Word does have a spell check, and I think it'll show up here if you're using your text box. Punctuation, my number one rule, I'm the only one allowed to know to use a semicolon because a semicolon has specific uh, requirements when to use it, when not to use it. Make sure your sentence structure represents thoughtful consideration and it's reflected through clarity. Clarity means that you do not have one sentence with 235 words in it. You know, say what you mean what you say. Don't use a bunch of commas. Use a comma when appropriate. Don't be afraid to end the sentence and start a new one. It gives the reader a chance to absorb what they just read and catch their mental breath so that they can absorb more. So here's some of the requirements down here below. You will be required to submit 3 responses. As a rule, your initial post or response must be submitted no later than Tuesdays at 11:59. The reason we do this is to keep you from all waiting until the last minute and you're just looking at what there's nothing new to say. And it's worth up to 35 points. Your first response or reply to a student must be submitted by Thursday. You must have replied to somebody about something by Thursday. Your second response to another student, your second of 2 replies to another student must be submitted by Sunday. Don't wait till the last minute. Now, here again, we see up to 35 points. We see up to 35 points. That's 70 points. We see up to 35 points. What if you forget to submit this last response? In other words, you only submitted to 2 responses. According to my rules, what is the total you can make? 35 plus 35, 70 points. So you will barely pass. Now, what if you forget to submit one of these posts, like your second response? 65 is the most I can give you because 35 is the max and 30 is the max here. So that's 65. That means you would fail this discussion. Take your time. Time is of the essence. I'm sure. I'm aware that most of you have full-time jobs. I'm sure. You're here because you think you can do this. I hope. So manage your time. Now, let's see if there's anything else. All right. I think I kind of went over this, and I think this is enough of my soapbox. Uh, I do have, I think, one more if we didn't go over it. No, I think we did this, and I think we went over that. So back to the course right quick. Can I get it back up here? I can. This is home. Final thoughts here. This is where to go look and see the syllabus. There will be a test on the syllabus at the end of module 1 in each course. So don't use the course calendar. The required material will be a textbook. Uh, Announcements will be, you'll get a notification for those. Modules are all the different modules uh, in the course. A module is the same thing as a week. Here again is the tailgate. I think this may talk about me, but I'm not sure. And this is my contact. And if you got a problem with me and we can't get it resolved, or I'm not paying attention, or you're not getting my attention, there's a way to do this, handle this. We have a grievance policy, and this will take you to it, and I think even take you back from it. So, to take a quick look at what a module might look at, let's go down through here. So the overview is where this video will show up, and most overviews are close to the same. They're just talking about, uh, in this case, it's simple. We're just mostly concerned with admin things. When you get to your module tools and things like that, you begin to see we're concerned with other things. The due dates are not on here yet. Uh, I've got to post them, but they'll show up down here. Points will show up down here, and your due dates. Let's see if I can find one. Oh, I haven't. These all have to be changed to the new term, but I'll get around to that. But this is what a basic module will look like. We'll start out, in this case, this module 2 will be the basics. We just looked at we'll start out with basic stake marking uh, and vertical measurement. What that means, I'll probably have a video of it. Oh, by the way, if the video here is I still like it, it may contain some statements by me that refer to dates that have already gone by or will never come. So if I need to give you a date to do something, you'll get it through an announcement. So if you're watching a video, I'm not going to change that video just because it refers to Thanksgiving and it's the middle of August. Uh, I'm going to that means I like the video, so I'm not going to change it. So the video will be me talking about, just let's say this right here. It'll be me talking about the actual, this will be the video. The video will be me talking about these things I'm showing you up here. This video will cover introduction to grade terms, basic stake marking, and the engineer's tape. You know, we don't use inches here. We use only feet and decimals of feet. And we'll talk about vertical dimensions. So I haven't wasted your time, but I've used enough of it, I believe, to back out of here. So let me see if I can get that done. Good luck. Please remember to call on me if you have family or personal or work issues, and we'll see if we can get them worked out.